Hello, everyone. It's been a while, about a year. Um, a lot's been going on in the past year, and haven't had a lot of time to get into the channel. So I decided now that I'm at the end of my academic journey, and a lot of spiritual changes, a lot of metaphysical changes have occurred. That I'd jump back into the channel since I can handle it now, time wise, and my abilities have strengthened quite a bit among the ascension journey, and especially now that I'm not head first into the twin flame uh, dynamic as much as I was. All that's been neutralized out. I think I can go ahead and start back up. So I'm going to go ahead and start up with a reading for spring, since the equinox was just on the 19th. Um, I'm going to start off with a few oracle decks. I'm trying to keep this as short as possible, and then I'll dive into tarot if I'm drawn to it. Alright, so let's start on the spring 2024 reading. It'll be for March, the rest of March, all of April, into May, and some, into about what, June 20th? Okay. Alright. So it's about 1:35, so let's begin. Alright. Alright, Spirit. I'm the source, and the source is with me. I'm the source, and the source is with me. I'm the source, and the source is with me. Alright. Give me some energies for this year. Or for this season, rather. Give me 3. So I got 1, 2. Alright, and for anybody wondering, this is the Goddess Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. She might have went a little back to the religious side, but I still use her Oracle decks and such. Alright, first card we have is Mary Magdalene, Unconditional Love. Love yourself, others, in every situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be. Aphrodite, inner goddess. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self care, and appreciating your divinity. And Ma'at. This situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. Okay. 11:11. Actual time. Cute. Anyway. Okay, the major themes for spring, at least on a more grand scale. Okay. Although this is the feminine goddess deck, I do sense a lot of feminine energy rising. Obviously. But it's collective, but it's also more on an individuated basis. Like everyone's dealing with this energy separately, differently. And I think the 3 are 3 different sets of energies that are being tapped into, and what people need to focus on, or the themes that people are going to focus on energetically. With the unconditional love, that speaks of healing wounds, dropping illusions, a lot of third eye activity, a lot of heart chakra activity. The Aphrodite core, the inner goddess, that's the awakening of the divine feminine within. Um, Definitely some inner alchemy occurring. The flow state, this group in particular is being asked to surrender, basically, surrender to their own inner God essence. Flow with that. That's what brings it abundance and love and health, and yada yada yada. And the third group is a little bit different because it's fairness. It's focusing on interpersonal relationships, like setting boundaries, being fair to both yourself, being fair to others. If somebody's not fair to you, speaking up. The blue throat chakra, really big here. The Aphrodite card, it was getting more sacral energy with that. It's based on the color and the inner goddess. A little bit of solar plexus as well, simply because it's the feminine willpower. But the third group, like I said, fairness. It's kind of self-explanatory. You're going to be dealing with the interpersonal relationship dynamics right now. Is this person pursuing their righteousness? Okay. This also speaks of dharma. So people, if you're attached to this one, particularly, that speaks of dharma. This one also speaks of dharma, but this is more of the tutorial, stepping into that. And this one speaks of healing. So, in other words, there are three groups. One that is still healing, that's kind of getting that last push, healing-wise, from all the eclipse energy that's coming up, all of the different alignments in the planets, especially around the 8th. This one is with the people that the Aphrodite card is the second group. Again, they've already done the bulk of the healing. Now they're beginning to step into that feminine aspect. And then the third group, obviously, is beginning to step into that actual sovereign power. Okay. Now, we're also going to get some sub-energies for that, based on the Egyptian Gods Oracle cards deck. Yeah. Alright. Turn these over. Alright, Spirit. Place it on the first. Shoe. Give me one for that last one. Okay. I'm going to choose to read these as the order they came out, with the order of the cards that came out before. So for the Mary Magdalene, the group that is focusing on healing, it's actually tapping into the last card, fairness. Interesting. Because it's number 3, Shu, Order and Peace. So when I pulled them, I was like, Spirit, you sure I'm not supposed to read the last one first and the first one last? And I was like, they're like, no. So, let me see. Okay. So we're getting into some soul retrieval stuff with this, Order and Peace. Bringing order to the internal constellations. That's what that speaks of. That's how this group is going to react, those that are still healing. To expedite the healing, go into a soul retrieval. It's a meditation. Go back to the basically it's a meditation where you go back to the event or trauma of a certain time period or past life. If you have access to that information, placing yourself in that period visually, and then going to your younger self or to the other self if it's in a past life, what have you, going in and seeing that fragment, calling it back to you, and reassuring yourself. For me, it's always a kundalini activation afterwards. Afterwards, there's always a spiral of the spine. But yeah, that's what you're going to be dealing with: order and peace. Through order brings peace. Through internal order brings peace, effectively. So that's the energy that you're going to be dealing with: order and peace. Okay, so the first group is going to be dealing with some of the energies of the last group. Okay, I see. While the middle group's kind of mixed. Okay, that makes sense. Alright. That's pretty much for that one. I will get more general as we get into the future cards. 11:11 on the timer. For the Aphrodite card, it's 31. Sishat, Wisdom. This is talking about following your inner compass. It's going to be a lot of intuition for these people. These people that are finally beginning to embody that higher self, that inner goddess, especially for the feminine. You can be a man and be a predominantly feminine energy. We all have them inside of us, so take it how it resonates. For the second group of people, could be a time of academic success, because she's writing on the scribe. Could be a time of spiritual awakening, of course, with Aphrodite and your goddess. This is also a second path on the ascension. Could be a second major awakening time for you guys. Yes. So while the first one is beginning to order while the first group is beginning to order their inner constellations, you're beginning to decipher from them, beginning to embody them, beginning to understand them, beginning to truly realize, who I am. Know thyself, gnosis. But yeah. And for the final one, Demont, those people that are dealing with the interpersonal relationship dynamic, it's going back again to the Mary Magdalene, because you already learned the unconditional love. You already found most of the pieces that you need to begin making yourself whole again. You've already done most of the work, and in doing that and beginning to expand out into that realm of the other people around you, which is really deep down, if you look at it, the source level, it's still you. We're being asked to bring in the healing into that, what you've learned into that, into the relationship with others. Sometimes you can heal with others, sometimes you can't, sometimes you have to let it go. That's really dependent. For a lot of you, it's going to be cutting people out that are no longer serving. There's also 33, so that's definitely probably resonant with a bunch of people in the spiritual community anyway. If you come across it and you're not spiritual, well, welcome. Alright, we're off to a little slow of a start, but we'll get back into it. It's been a while. Alright. So to recap on that, first pile, unconditional love. You're being asked to go in, do that healing, love yourself, draw in those places, those pieces of yourself that are distant. Collect that. Now some of you might be going through each of these 3 steps simultaneously, and it's just, it's spherical. On the mental or emotional level, you might be having to go through the unconditional love, while on the physical, you're dealing with the fairness, or vice versa, so on and so forth. So again, just take it how it resonates. I didn't intend for it to come out like that, but it did come out like that. 3 different groups of people. I guess we'll continue reading for these 3 groups then. How about that? Alright, what can you tell me for group 1? And this is the Sacred Spirit reading cards. Yeah. Alright, Spirit, what do you have to tell me for the first pile? Let's get this reading going, shall we? There's 2 of them for the first. Give me one for the last pile. 2 or 3 or however many want to come out. Alright, for my first group, those dealing with love. You have 2 cards here. First one, 23, lead the way, light your own path. And if you can't tell, this is a deer or a stag, and that represents a lot of masculine energy. There's also the star here. So this is telling you, and compared in conjunction with this one, 27, meditation. Improvements require persistence. This is basically confirming that, yeah, you're on the last leg of the healing, last leg of the clearing of the karma. You're almost there. It's kind of like 9 of Wands energy that's coming up to me. Despite the goddess energy, that's the feminine energy that's here, it's also giving you advice to try to integrate that feminine in through the masculine energy, because feminine is flow while the masculine is more of a conscious action. It's telling you to go deep, basically reconfirming the soul retrieval, the light beginning to be shown at the end of the tunnel for a lot of you. 23. Could also be some psychic experiences beginning, now that you're beginning to enter that last phase of healing, or they're beginning to ramp up. It's almost like you're in a dream state. And the 27th meditation, that's self-explanatory. That'll definitely help right now, going deep into the psyche, deep into the subconscious, deep into the unconscious, because you pull up the unconscious material through the subconscious. But yeah, it's like, again, like it's that 9 of Wands energy. You're almost there, but not quite there. And this is going to be that last major push. 23rd through 27th of April, I think. Just based on the cards. Okay, 2 major windows, both in March coming up. It's the 21st today, as I'm recording this. So the 23rd to 27th, and the 23rd to 27th next month. That'll 23rd to 27th next month. That'll be when the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction takes place. So expect a lot of stuff to come up then. It's going to be really challenging around that time, but if you do the shadow work, which is effectively going in and just seeing, your own shadow, self-healing, and you should be fine, and then you can go into that second phase of the embodiment. Okay. I think we've divined enough from that one. And for my second pile, Aphrodite, there's stepping into that embodiment. We have 29. Open intuition. And I know you can't see that, because I can't see that. It says seek clarification. Okay. So like I said a while ago, you're in a tutorial phase on how to own your own inner power, your own sovereignty. How does this exactly work? I'm going through all this awakening process. I'm currently going through another one, it seems. The heart chakra is probably bursting, kind of like a firecracker or fire hydrant or water hose or what have you. That's how it feels, at least to me. Comment how it feels to you, but to me it feels kind of like a firecracker or firework. They go kind of like that. But I digress. Anyway, this is telling you that you need to begin opening that channel with your higher self if you haven't already, and start to trust that intuition that's coming in. With the intuition and the voice that's coming in, your clairs are beginning to come on. The clairaudience, the clairsentience, the claircognizance. They're either coming on or you're beginning to notice that, hey, I've always had that. There seems to be a lot of peacock energy on this card. So that just kind of confirms the awakening, the continued awakening, or the second awakening, as I said. For some, it actually might be 3. Because I'm seeing 3 things on the plant here. And 3 like leaves or flowers, and 3 things on the stem. And then on the Aphrodite card, the dove is carrying 3, like a vine with some flowers on it. So it could be 2 or 3, depending on like the second big awakening. And it's asking you to really begin trusting that inner voice, that higher voice. However that comes through for you. For me, it's literally like my own voice, and everything's filtered through. So I'm not really sure what I'm talking to at any given time. It just comes through as is. Now, for example, I have had communication with things that go with a slightly different filter, like the Arcturians, for example. That was really weird when that first happened, but I digress. But for you guys, yeah, definitely trust that intuition. Start tapping into that. That'll guide you along that purpose path. And for those really beginning to step into that divinity, and you're beginning to branch out and hone that power, and it requires a lot of adjustments in reality. You have number 3, astral travel, caution needed. So, as you're beginning to step into your power, you're going to attract people that are petty tyrants, effectively. Those that try to downside you, make you feel bad about who you are as a person, because they're jealous, typically, or some type of energies working through them, what have you. Excuse me. So that's what the caution needed is. You're attracting a lot of spirit, both the human and spiritual energies that are coming into you, and you need to protect yourself against them. Especially if you're channeling, because there's the depiction of the crown chakra above the guy's head. The portal representing the crown. Just be careful when you're tapping into certain energies. People establish those boundaries. This could also represent the light body beginning to activate. Just as it says astral travel and the light body begins to activate. Well, the astral body activates when the light body when the light body is in the process of activating, but could be either or. This could be a confirmation too, because that some of you in the third pile, the fairness pile, are experience certain psychic phenomena, like such as astral projection. Sorry, I've been a little under the weather lately. Okay. Now, I'm going to pull out the Angel Therapy cards by Doreen Virtue. Let's see. Alright. I'm going to do the same thing for all 3 decks. Draw 1 to 2 cards, depending on what flies out. And this will give you more information, more confirmations. Hopefully. Maybe some more guidance, depending on what comes out. Since I'm getting into the flow of things now. Yeah. Alright. What for my power once? Okay. That's a lot of cards. Aphrodite's Pile, Pile 2. For my Pile 3s. Alright. For the first group, the Power Ones, as I will call them, going forward, you got 4 cards, but it's only natural because you're going through a lot of healing. Alright? I'm just gonna do with this one because this one fell out first. You are profoundly clairvoyant. Trust what you see in your mind's eye as well as with your physical sight, for your spiritual vision helps you with healing, teaching, and guidance. Manifestation power. Use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. Crystals. The energy of crystals supports you and helps you with your present situation. Cut your cords. Ask Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear that stem from past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. Yeah, I see a lot of parallels between the first and the third. Still, it seems that both are healing, but both are healing on a different dynamic. While the first is inner healing, the second is outer healing, using the inner to heal the outer. The first, obviously, the awakening of psychic abilities for the first, because you're beginning to heal all of the trauma. And once you heal all of that trauma, that opens the channel up, opens the clairs up. This is where it's the very, very beginning, so it's kind of like spooky action at a distance. Synchronicities, weird quote-unquote coincidences, which is what a synchronicity is. Like it's too perfect to be a coincidence, effectively. You're beginning to see that, probably the numbers, angel numbers especially. And could be having premonitions, precognitive dreams, that sort of thing. Maybe a few bouts of, maybe not astral projection at your level. Maybe, it depends. But definitely remote viewing, that sort of thing, or lucid dreaming, definitely. Beginning of that, your dreams could also be very, very, very wacky at this time. You might not be able to remember them at all. This all depends on what stage you're at. And again, manifestation power. This is both the confirmation again that you're beginning to step into that new realm. You're beginning to see that you do have spiritual gifts, that you do have physical gifts, that you can attract certain things into your life, or that you've seen that the life you have lived has attracted certain things. Like the old saying, we attract what we allow, we attract what we allow in, or we allow in what we attract, as above, so below, vice versa. We're getting to see that, and it's also a dual meaning, asking you to tap into that to try to manifest some clarity, manifest some of those soul fragments back, and try to get out of the trauma responses. If that makes any sense. The fawn response, or the fear response, fawn, freeze, flight, or fight response. Yeah. That's what it's asking you to do. Change the mindset as well. And crystals are self-explanatory. This could be a confirmation that, well, both that you should use crystals, obviously, if that is your prerogative. They are really helpful. They can also represent that you yourself, yes, you yourself, or somebody you know, maybe perhaps a child or a stepchild or a future in-law or something like that, a nephew, niece, or something. Could be a crystal child, crystal baby. You could be setting the way for that. I feel like that's very specific for someone. The crystal message in general is for everyone, but that in particular could be a crystal baby in the making. And the other one, the cut your cords. This is kind of ties into the last one as well. You could be connected with Archangel Michael, for example. That energy will really help you start to declutter energies, and that's really helpful when you're recalling soul fragments, because you don't want to be attached to these old things, these old energies or other energies. Past, it doesn't even need to be like people. It could be past places, past events, past objects, what have you. It's asking you to cut this cords so you can continue the process of healing, so you can step into that, begin embodying that after you've cleared that. And you'll know when you've cleared quite a bit, because you'll enter a void state. So, all right, a little after 33 minutes on the dot, so let's get this ball rolling. All right, the Aphrodite pile, law of attraction, relationships and activities that you once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware of energies. So, could be, so yeah, obviously, law of attraction message, which some of you could also be going through a bit of an ego death. Not as in the full dark night of the soul, but more like a mini one. This speaks of mourning the old egoic ways. As you begin stepping into that embodiment, all that other stuff begins to shed off. It no longer serves. And this speaks of a state of mourning, in a way. A lot of internal change, effectively. And you're being shown a lot more of your abilities. So you can get out of the tutorial phase and really enjoy the experience. And find your quote-unquote purpose. Alright. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I showed that. I probably did, but yeah. And finally, for the mott pile, we have clear yourself. Ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed. kind of like the cut your cord energy, in a way. Self-explanatory. Like I said before, cutting certain people out, cutting certain energies out, moving on from certain things, especially in the interpersonal dynamic. There might need to be some inner healing that still needs to take place. Maybe not a lot, but just enough for you to make the next leap in the interpersonal relationship. Either like setting boundaries, saying no, for example, leaving a toxic relationship or a toxic family dynamic, or sticking one out if it's in the process of healing, for example, or what have you. That speaks of that, clearing yourself and allowing that embodiment to really take hold. Okay, yeah, bringing harmony to interpersonal relationships. Okay. Now we have the Solitary Witch Oracle. What? Actually, I will do this one last because I'm going to get a general message for that. So this isn't going forever. We will get a individual message for all three from the Moonology deck. Okay. Alright. Can you tell me for my three piles, what advice can you give me for these three beautiful piles of people? Stages 1, 2, and 3. Different levels. What can you give me for pile 1? I can't make it up. Can't make the synchronicities up. Where is the card? Card earlier, I know it's backwards. This one, meditation, and this one right here has the Pisces, the new moon in Pisces, which in the Vedic, which in the tropical zodiac we just had not so many days ago, and the sidereal or traditional we're about to have in a few days, ironically. So that might also be very big for quite a few of you, or was, depending on which system you follow. Or as I follow both, it's pretty. Both have certain energies that will definitely affect you, so take it how it resonates. But it says meditate and contemplate. So, what more can be said? Meditate and contemplate. And, moreover, balsamic moon, a time for healing. What more needs to be said for pile 1? Meditate, contemplate, go in, get those soul fragments, heal, so you can begin embodying your higher self. And let the process fold out. Don't be scared of it. You know, there might be ascension symptoms and stuff, aches, pains. I'm having some problems with my right eye, for example, but just go with the flow. We'll get some more messages from the tarot in a minute. Okay, this is for 2. Also been called to draw one more. Ooh. Okay. First card is Full Moon, and it says Surrender to the Divine. The second card is New Moon in Sagittarius, and luck is on your side. So, yeah, remember what I said, the goddess energy, especially when you're tapping into that, the second pile is really embodying that feminine energy. Flow, surrender is flow. Surrender to the divine. Full moon. Like I said, the recent full moon and the coming eclipse and the coming next full moon and the eclipse energy, and yada yada yada. It's asking you to surrender more into your natural feminine abundance, your natural feminine element, your natural feminine energy. Even if you're a guy, you still have feminine energy. Settle into that, and that will show you the way. And it'll be fed through the masculine, and then your choices will be aligned with flow, so you can actually manifest and, you know, have an enjoyable experience here on Earth. And again, you're protected. Luck is on your side. I'm glad it, the Sagittarius thing, because I'm resonating with all three, but especially the second one. It's kind of like the archer's bow. You pull back the thread. That's karma. You know, building up all that energy, that potential energy. Build it up, build it up. You keep being pulled back. You keep being put down. Build it up, build it up, and eventually you can't pull it back anymore, and you gotta release it. And then all that, it's momentum, and the arrow flies across the room or field or whatever and hits its target. And that's kind of what you're being prepared for. Surrender to be basically propelled. You'll be amazed at the types of synchronicities and what is the word? You're trying to give me a word. What is the word? Alignments. Synchronicities and alignments. Energetic alignments. You're being readjusted to certain octaves. Timeline jumps, effectively. Quantum timeline jumps. Okay. Anything else with that? Some in this group also might be encountering or have encountered a divine partnership, be that a twin flame, soulmate, kingdom spouse, I think they call it, some type of divine union. Somebody's there, or you're about to meet somebody, and during this time, or a relationship is about to take it to the next level, or be alchemized, or what have you. Yeah. That's all for that one. Now let's go to the Maya Paul. What do you want me to tell me for this pile? So I can only just keep these people in this pile. Two more? Okay. You sure? Yes. No. Shuffle again. Okay, he told me to draw 3. The other one wasn't right. The first one was right. The 2 I just drawed, so I did it again. First card that pulled out, New Moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. This is basically the universe patting you on the back and saying you've come far. You've come a long way. Almost to the finish line. So it speaks of legacy. That's why the boundaries and the interpersonal relationships are so important right now, because you're also building legacy. But there's also a warning: full moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in the way. In other words, be discerning with the relationships in your life. But 44 on timer, not exactly, but 44 minutes in. Anyway. Stand your ground, but don't, try to impose on anybody else's free will. And always consult your discernment and your intuition. Because sometimes we like to make assumptions and get things wrong. So that's that caution that was being spoken of earlier. So let's use that discernment and try to work on those relationships. Yeah. The third card, Cardinal Moon, be bold and make the first move. So yeah, some of this is for the interpersonal relationship stuff. Some of this is starting a new business, going to school, finishing up school. Could be starting a family, getting married, getting into a relationship, getting out of a relationship, some type of creative project, some type of hobby. It could be anything, or even, the spiritual realm. Don't be afraid. It's protection, cosmic protection, like I said in the second pile. There isn't a real set in stone trajectory of this, like it is with the second pile. Okay, because the second pile is being propelled by fate, and because the first pile is being coming out of karma and fate. The second pile is being launched from fate into dharma and free will, and the third pile is really beginning to step into destiny. So, if there's something that's really been calling out to you, definitely take heed of that. Be it idea, person, thing, place, what have you. So, okay. And for some of you, I decided to look at the bottom. Some of you need to release. And all three piles need to release some things. And for some of you, your commitment is being tested at this time, or will be tested in the coming few weeks as spring progresses. Okay. We'll get one more oracle card, or I'll actually get a... You know what? I'll use this one for the last thing as a closing message. And I'll choose one of these decks. The Midnight Magic Tarot deck of mushrooms. I have a lot more than this, but these are the ones I prepared for perhaps a reading. The Golden Girls Tarot. Tarot of Magical Correspondences. And of course the classic, the Witch's Tarot, which I've had about 3 different times. Hopefully I can keep it all in one piece this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of shuffle the decks in my hand, whichever one I need, I'll use. If I feel the need to draw another deck, or use another deck for one of the other piles, I will. Okay. For pile 1, which one do I choose? Okay. This one. This one. Magic Mushroom deck. Okay. Put those in the disc. Alright, Spirit Tarot messages for pile 1 to have. Read them up, right? That's all? Okay. Okay. I'll use a different deck for the other two. Alright, messages. Obviously, healing, time of great change. We got the common puffball. I'm not even gonna try to say the name, but it's the Wheel of Fortune. Great cosmic changes, people. Like I said, these eclipses, these alignments coming up, especially for Power One. This is like a fated healing. I watched another healer. I watched the Hedge Witch tarot today, and she spoke of 1,000 years of karma being healed for some people. So, take that as you will. There's also the orange pinwheel, 5 of Wands. Yeah, that's an ego death. Because 5 of Wands is usually a show of the ego and the change of the wand and the healing. It's the final either subjugation or death of the ego. Does that make sense? Yeah. There's a lot of internal conflict at this time, a lot of cognitive dissonance as well. That's being cleared out. That soul reclamation process, the soul fragment reclamation process, like I said, is helpful with that. It will probably be needed. I would recommend it to anyone, any of these pals, frankly. I've already done it a few times, and it helps, even over minor things. So yeah, Spirit, do you have anything else to tell me for Power One? So yeah, the cycle of the ego is closing out. The cycle of egoic control is closing out. The cycle of conflict is closing out. Yeah. What do I say? Justice. Getting your divine justice. Old man of the woods. Old man of the woods. There's also the turkey tail, the hierophant. So yeah, that's exactly what it is. The higher self is beginning to come in as the all the old paradigms clear, all the old programming, the ego begins subjugated. For some of you, this also represents a guru of some type coming in to help in this process. It could also represent being your own guru. There's also a lot of spiritual help at this time, helping you come to a healed state, or maybe not a 100% healed state, obviously, but healed enough so you can go to the next step. Get out of the constant cycle that's beginning to come to a close, that's been repeating for 13 years for some of you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because once you get all that clearing done, the Fool, new beginning coming in, chicken of the woods, when you're running around with it, feel like you're okay. You have been feeling like you've been running around with a chicken with its head cut off, but that's about to end with the cycle change. Yes, because the Page of Wands, the Peak Burn Cup. I always see the pages as kind of like a improved ace. So there's a lot of passion coming in here, a lot of passion, a lot of unearthed passion from all this healing that's coming up, or it could be a passion for healing. But it's tied in with this new beginning that's coming. That's will effectively propel you into that second and then third pile, because you're stepping into that King of Swords energy. This one's the first pile has the most masculine energy, because it's all about bringing the two together, the union, the alchemical marriage. destructive foliota, King of Swords. So the articulate, intelligent, masculine energy that cuts through BS. Yeah. You're cutting through the BS, all the emotional BS, the trauma, what have you. Yeah. Remember what I said earlier about the Nine of Wands? I was feeling a lot of Nine of Wands energy from it. Yep. Nine of Wands. At the bottom of the deck. Poison, fire, quarrel. Huh. Nice name. Oh, and look at that. At the top of the deck, it's the sun. Golden oyster mushroom. So you're coming out of the cocoon, effectively. You're going to be coming out of that cocoon once all that healing takes off and finishes up. Alright. So, I'm going to push this one over to the side. For my Mary Magdalene people, the ones going through the healing, I'm going to give a quick wrap up of that. Effectively, like I've been reiterating, you're going through a deep healing phase, the last major healing phase that you need to go through. You're not quite in that embodied state yet. You're not quite experiencing it. Well, you are beginning to experience some of the psychic phenomena with it. And it's asking you to go really deep right now. A lot of shadow work, soul reclamation. There's that new beginnings right around the corner, and all you have to do is wrap up this cycle. Yeah. So you guys are really close to making some type of breakthrough, and all this eclipse energy and all this alignment energy coming up in throughout March, April, and I believe some into May. It's really gonna bring that light. It's going to bring that light for everyone, because this is a spring reading after all. But for you specifically, internal healing, focus on that. Eye on the prize, and you got it. Alright, now we're going to go to our second pile. I'm going to choose another deck. We're coming up on 58 minutes almost. Okay. I'm going to see which one for our inner goddesses. Which one? Magical correspondences. Interesting. Still kind of learning this deck, so bear with me. Alrighty. Alright, universe, what guidance do you have for my lovely pile twos, my beginning to embody folks? I'm going to pull anything else comes out. Alright. Go ahead and give me everything I need in this next file. Alright, thank you. Alright, we have intelligence of the meditating influence, Six of Wands, the vision of the harmony of things, 21, significant, on this card, so that might be significant to you. As is the Leo energy, as is the Jupiter energy. And the other card is Illuminating Intelligence. It's the King of Wands. And it has the 3 on it. So take what resonates on that. Excuse me, I need to get some water real quick. But the 6 of Wands, obviously, public recognition. In this case, it's universal recognition or internal recognition of your own inner strength, your own inner goddess, your own inner sovereign authority, your own inner source. And that's being reflected in the King of Wands, obviously. The passionate man, the some would call it the divine masculine, although it depends on who you ask. The embodiment of that, the passionate man or masculine archetype, doesn't even need to be a man. It's just the true embodiment of fire and passion and romance and building and just, in other words, you're turning into the illuminated being. For a lot of you, it's pretty flamboyant, to say the least. But there's also Queen of Coins energy, sanctifying intelligence, the vision of sorrow. So this speaks about a lot of abundance coming in as well. Increased spiritual ability also with the King of Wands and the 6 of Wands. This speaks of increases in financial abundance, or the breaking down of the abundance wounding, which is probably why the 4 of Coins is here, measuring cohesive or receptacular intelligence, the vision of love. So part of the stepping into the full abundance, that full goddesshood, that full feminine aspect, that full divine source, getting out of that tutorial, it's all about surrender, especially in the things of finance, because a lot of us in the spiritual community, we have an issue with money, taking money for certain services or making money in general. We need to get that drilled out of our head. The far too conservative with money and our finances in a way. Like I said, ethical, for example, to make money as a spiritual person, that you have to be all poor and homeless. No, sorry, that's not how it works. Maybe 500 years ago when society was different, but not now. Need to drop that programming. Yeah, because there are also a lot of new ideas coming in with the Ace of Swords, union with God, obviously, awakening, admirable or hidden intelligence. And you have the swan. I think that's a swan. It might be a goose, but anyway. But yeah, new ideas coming in, new union with God or source or whatever. Resplendent intelligence, the vision of the holy guardian angel, or of Adane, the Princess of Coins, which is, I believe, the Page of Pentacles. So again, the financial abundance. It's that's going to be a major theme going forward with the stepping in the tutorial mode for the spiritual sovereignty, because you don't want to jump. You can't jump right into it, otherwise Wise, you're going to manifest this, manifest that, and sorry, my phone just jumped to a different file. So, where was I? The abundance wounding. Yeah, you're going to be healing that quite a bit in regards to love, money, relationships, what have you. So you can go to that third pile. So you can really embody that and go to that third pile so you can begin building the life you so desire. And again, Nine of Wands is confirming that of the Wands energy, the new ideas, the new energies, the new passions coming in, along with you beginning to embody. Yeah, that's bottom of the deck. And Five of Wands, moving away from the conflict, the ego. So, yeah. So, for recap for my pile twos, you're beginning to step into that abundance. You're beginning to step into that godhood, that sovereignty. You're beginning to become whole again. Slowly but surely, your psychic abilities are beginning to become more and more enhanced. Just keep up the good work. The eclipse is basically going to bring more of that to life. Surrender, most definitely. Work with the law of attraction, law of manifestation. And embrace the newfound wisdom. Don't sit on it. Share it. It's meant to be shared. Alright. I'm going to choose a final deck to go with this. I only have two, so we'll find out what it is. The Golden Girls deck, or are we the Beaches Tarot deck? The Pile 3, which one should I get? This one. Oh, the Witch's Tarot does not get used tonight. Better luck next time, kiddo. We'll use the Golden Girls Tarot. Alright, universe, what can you tell me for my Pile 3s? Okay, I don't know how many that was, but okay. There's 3 out, and I'm being told that's all I need is 3. Alrighty. We have the Page of Cups, which is my inner child card. So as you begin to establish those boundaries, you begin to heal on the outside as well as the inside, or using that internal healing that you've learned to heal others on the outside in various ways. You're beginning to embody more and more of that higher self, which is the inner child, and the more that comes into focus, and a lot of you will begin to experience that. If you haven't been experiencing it already, it will probably come to a heed because the Nine of Swords has come out in reverse. And as everyone knows, that's the mental anguish card. That's the mental anxieties card. The old paradigms of relationship dynamics. In this case, it's beginning to break down. In this time period, those illusions, those anxieties, you're beginning to put things where they go, leave certain situations, or bury the hatchet in other situations, or heal together, or what have you. All of that negative thought process is beginning to go away. See, Nine of Swords in reverse. And you also got the Seven of Swords in reverse. And in the upright, it speaks of trickery, deceit, sometimes of the self, conflict with others. I mean, not so much conflict, but deceit from others, theft sometimes, a lack of clarity, obviously, distortion. And that's all being cleared out in this coming time, this coming next few months throughout spring for you guys. You're dropping the BS, basically. Other people are dropping the BS, or you're dropping them because of the BS. Your new friends, obviously, that appeal to that inner child. Don't stay with people that bring you anguish. Release that. Don't stay with people that, or situations that, don't serve your highest good. And that inner child is a compass on that. If you have to be bold, make the first move, establish those boundaries, use your discernment, try not to beat yourself up, but don't judge people in a harsh manner. And always be careful. Allow those psychic experiences to continue to expand as you're expanding. All right. Put this up. I'm also gonna, for 3, it's the bottom, yes, death. At the top of the deck is the, ooh, so beautiful, 10 of Pentacles. So yes, transformation that brings in legacy, that brings in abundance, that brings in lasting community. That's what I see happening during spring with all this energy that's coming up. All right. Now I'm going to get some final messages for everyone going forward. What to expect for spring in general. I was going to try to do some worldly energies, but it came across how it came across. So if you're still here with me after all this time, I thank you. All right, universe, what closing messages do you have for us for the rest of spring? I don't need half the deck, but I will take the. No, I won't take the top 3. You gotta be more specific than that. I'm willing to take up to 3, but. And to wrap up for pile 3 again, just put those boundaries in place, and go for it. Go for that purpose. Go for that destiny. All right. General messages for everyone. The Dance of Water, 7, 32, and sometimes she changes. 21. Magical Manifestation. And those are Solitary Witch Oracle. Okay. 7. A Dance of Water. And sometimes she changes. And Magical Manifestations. So in other words, this is just confirming what I've been saying, is that the springtime is going to be very fluid. It's going to have massive changes occurring during it for everyone. The Dance of Water, it's back and forth, very emotional, going deep, especially for those that still need to heal or in the process of healing others. Even for those that are stepping into their power, you have to go deep into your power. You have to go deep into yourself to find your power. And sometimes she changes. Self-explanatory. There's going to be a lot of change, a lot of transformation for everyone. And magical manifestation, well, it's about to get a whole lot more magical for everyone involved on this planet. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of changes. The ascension process is ramping up. The darkness is ramping up. Their little recoil or whatever you want to call it. Their attempt at fighting back is ramping up. It's ramping up. It's all ramping up. And it's time to be alive. We're being revealed. Our power's being revealed to us again. And these changes are massive. I'm telling you, these changes are absolutely massive. And if you were drawn to anything in this reading, in any of the messages, this is your reading. Perhaps you're drawn to one, two, or all three. We're all at different levels. So, I think that pretty much covers it. I didn't want to go too long, but it is about an hour and 20 minutes in or so. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave it here. If you liked this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it, do whatever with it. Comment. I don't care. Well, I do care, but you know what I mean. Regardless, have a good day, night, evening, morning, space time, wherever you are. And again, I thank you for your support. If you tuned into this, hopefully you got something out of it, despite my tendency to ramble. And here's to a fantastic and exhilarating spring. I wish you all the best. You should be seeing more of me lately. More of me than you have lately. More of me in the future. Yeah. I will probably be offering personal readings and stuff here coming up soon after I get everything with the channel off the ground and I wrap up all the things I need to wrap up home-wise. So, anyway, it was a great reading for you guys. Again, after about a year. And yeah, hope you all have a great spring and a great rest of your day, wherever you are. And Michael out.